So I want to bring you guys along, show you my off-grid camera system, and actually show you one of the big mistakes I made. So here you see a picture. I've got my camera that is facing basically right in front of our gate. So if you pull up to the door pad, you'll see this camera. You can tell it's obviously powered by solar. Problem is this camera is about 150 yards from the house through the woods. And so what you're seeing now is a Wi-Fi extender. And this extender's got clear line of sight from the house to the camera. And this is also powered by solar. Now, it's a Reolink system. It works by basically using a Wi-Fi signal. So I have an NVR, which is like a DVR, that's connected to a Wi-Fi router, and all the cameras talk to each other on the same Wi-Fi network. The router is not connected to the internet. Then I have a screen connected to the NVR, and so I've got SD cards in the camera, and I also have hard drive in the NVR. And so now I've got 24/7 monitoring in certain areas. And so, great solution for an off-grid home. I did all my calculations based off of what size battery I would need, what size panel I would need. I did all that for the camera. The camera drew 6 watts, and I actually found an article where a guy did the same thing with the same camera that I'm doing. So I used his math as a template, recalculated it, and basically what my camera needed was 75 watt panel, 24 amp hour battery, and it should be good. And so, I set all my posts in concrete, do all that hard work. I paint them first, because I want them to last. Did I redo my math for the Wi-Fi extender? Nope, I sure didn't. I just assumed, well, it's got to be the same, right? Of course. And of course it wasn't. We had a rainy week, and by the end of that week, or actually probably only a couple of days, but basically, camera stopped working, and I found out that I had drained the battery for the Wi-Fi extender. So when I looked at the actual power adapter, it drew twice the amount of power that my camera did. It drew 12 watts versus 6 watts. So obviously that's a problem. And so I figured, hey, look, if I actually used a 33 amp hour battery for the camera, even though it should only require 24. So I said, listen, if 24 amp hour battery is good enough, then I'm gonna put in a 55 amp hour battery. And then I'm going to switch out my 100 watt panel on the camera for a 200 watt panel. That's what you're watching here, watching me do. It actually took a while to find a 55 amp hour battery that for one would fit in the box, because I didn't want to buy a new waterproof box. That wasn't $400. This one was about 100. And so I actually changed out the charge controller too. I changed it out for, was it PWM, PMW, to an MPPT, which is a little more efficient. So I squeezed the max wattage from the camera, and so you're seeing me here. I'm rewiring everything and make sure everything fits, and this battery barely fit. And then later, I think I'd come back later. This is not the actual new solar panel, but later I came back and got everything working. So checking that battery status is good. Now what you're seeing here is the actual setup. Now that red thing is an inverter, power inverter. It's an AC to DC or DC to AC. It's got an AC plug that converts it back to DC. And unfortunately, I'm having to do that now because I actually bought an AC to DC converter and it started burning up the wires. And so I must have made some kind of mistake somewhere with the power output. So this will work for now. This is not as efficient if I just had a straight AC to DC inverter, or I'm sorry, not AC to DC. This is a 12 volt system, and the camera requires 24 volts, and so I need a converter to convert that. So I almost fried it when I used the one I bought off Amazon. So I have to figure out what's going on. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I wanted to share with you guys.